now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PoGo.
It's PoGo! PoGo! It's PoGo! PoGo! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PoGo! PoGo.
Welcome to another episode of the PoGo. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular co-host in this chilly December morning. It is actually pretty chilly here, but I don't know.
It is
I don't
very
know about,
cold.
Is it cold over by you guys, actually? This is Sublimemanic, by the way.
Yes.
And Lynian.
Far enough north that it's just kind of cold.
It's cold. Yeah.
I mean, I was in your neck of the woods like last week, and it was like 40, but it was like a bone-chilling 40. I don't know how to describe it. It was like terrible.
The wind.
Yeah,
and
windy,
it's the wind.
and it's humid, so it just cuts.
Because like I got back home, and it's like 20 degrees, right? Instead of 40. And it's much more tolerable, I feel like, sometimes, at 20 here.
It's been around freezing this week when I wake up, right around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's because there's actually like a Russian weather. Either way, welcome to the PoGo podcast. PoGo, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. Yay!
Which now includes Pokemon TCG Pocket in the
get that
category.
pocket.
Is that in between? That's TCG. Like that's just TCG, right?
Not really.
I mean, it's
like
not real TCG. It is the Pokemon Duel Links.
I mean, that's what it is. It is Duel Links.
It is Pokemon Duel Links, and I would call that Yu-Gi-Oh TCG still.
I think that uses actual real Yu-Gi-Oh cards though, and these are
It does
made specifically for this.
They do have cards specifically for that. I wouldn't be surprised if in like a year or two though, like there's a box set that comes out, like a Pokemon Go-esque set for the TCG. That's like the Pokemon Pocket TCG set.
There's just the small problem of all of the cards would be unplayably bad.
No, what they would probably do is I would imagine they would like do HP adjustments and stuff like that, and they would just print the art. Like it's mostly going to be for art. Let's be honest. Like it's just going to be for art. It's not going to be for anything else.
It is fun, I'll be collecting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it is a fun. I mean, I like it. I cracked the packs, and I thought I was going to feel like a lot more stress about not being able to open packs, and I just don't. I just open them when the game tells me I can.
It's like,
and then I've got a lot of cards.
Did I wake up? Did I go to bed? No.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my 2 packs a day, and I think it's far healthier than cigarettes, so.
I was about to do a cigarette choke. You beat me to it.
I know. I felt that, like, as soon as I said it, I'm like, it's here. It's right here. But, yeah, I like the game. I think it's fine.
It's cute.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I need to sit down and start looking through my actual physical decks for, like, real TCG again. And finish some of those. Like, I'm building this, like, Sinistra deck in person, IRL. I really like it because it's just, like, really memey. And especially, like, on the online ladder, like, a lot of people don't know what you're doing. So you can just kind of come out of nowhere and just win games with it. And a lot of people are playing Charizard right now because Charizard's easy to play. And they just came out with that League Battle deck, which is essentially like a tier 1 deck in a box for like $30 that Pokemon just sells, by the way.
Yeah, they know how to get what they want.
Yeah, no, they crashed the price of some of the cards, which is great, actually. Like some of the staples. Like the big one has been Prime Catcher, has been sitting at like $30 for a while. It's down to, I think, like 10 now. Because they released that deck and it includes a Prime Catcher, which is great. Like, I mean, their Pokemon is being really good to their players in that they are reprinting staples that are like playable cards like in mass. So I honestly can't think of a card that's more than like $10 right now that you need to play Pokemon. And if it is more than $10, it's a splashable card that you can use in like almost every deck.
Mm-hmm. It's a one-time investment.
Yeah. Yeah, that card is down to $11 right now. Not quite the 10 I said, but I mean, 11's not that much different.
The difference between $10 and $11 is simultaneously 10% and 0.
I mean, you just make that, you buy the one, you only need to play one in your deck. You can't play more than one anyway, so it's really nice in terms of that and that kind of balance. And you can just, like I said, for that, like 3 times the price, you can get that plus the entirety of like what you need for Charizard Pidgeot. So And Pidgeot itself is also just like a splashable line to put in a lot of decks.
Pidgeot, love how many decks are using Pidgeot.
Yeah, Pidgeot's a fun card. I love that Pidgeot's getting play.
I feel like this is the biggest moment for Pidgeot, Yes. Well, since the Mega.
Yeah, well, yeah. Unfortunately, like, Mega Pidgeot wasn't the best, but it was fine.
I mean, it had its moment in whatever tier it was in.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. I can't fact check that, but it sounds right.
Yeah, because it had the Hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah, it had No Guard Hurricane, which was really good. And its coverage is not bad. And Mega Pidgeot's how bad are Mega Pidgeot
because everything
stats?
gets Heat Wave.
I hope we get to see Mega Pidgeot again.
I have a feeling
maybe
we will.
in ZA,
Yeah, and maybe in ZA. I'm hopeful that it being in Legends might mean that it's in Gen 10 as well, but I'm hopeful. I'm not certain, or would put money on that.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about Legends, and the fact it's been a year, like, I knew this was gonna be the case, but it still feels like I keep forgetting. I was like, what's the next Pokemon game out? I was trying to think about this the other day, and my husband looked at me, he's like, Z to A, and I went,
yeah.
All right. I just haven't thought about it in 7 months, 10 months.
Yep. Yeah, they did not talk about it at all.
No.
They haven't given us like a little taste or anything, which at this point means we're not hearing anything until Pokemon Day, right? Like,
yeah, no, they're not gonna drop a January 7th trailer,
To be fair, they have done that in the past. That's how they announced X and Y. It was like a very early January trailer. It was before they really started hyping up Pokemon Day, to be fair. So it was really before Pokemon Day was like their big thing that they would try to do. And even now, like I think like the first couple times they tried to do it, starting with Pokemon 20, it was really cool and it was really hyped because they'd have some like cool announcements and they drop some cute little things. Like, it would be really cool if they would just drop like Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Switch online. That'd be great.
It would.
That'd be really cool.
I mean, they added Pokemon Stadium.
Anyway, let's talk about some other things that aren't going to happen.
Oh, well,
I mean, everything we talk about is not going to happen. I mean, it'd be really cool. Like, that would be like the cool little shadow drop they could do. I think that would be really cute. Just to drop those online on Pokemon Day. But honestly, my prediction is if that does happen, it'll happen in 2026 on the 30th anniversary. It'll be like, here's our 30th anniversary. Here you go. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And honestly, at this point, I just think that Z to A is just coming out in like November of 2025.
Yeah, no, they would have to show at least something by now.
Yeah, I could see, no, because they were just going to cannibalize themselves if they do it the other way. Yeah, I genuinely think it's going to be November. I would love to be wrong and surprised that like we get 2 mainline Pokemon games next year, but I honestly do think that the Pokemon Company is aware of like consumer fatigue on that as well.
I think they are. I think they're taking the note. They saw what happened to Marvel and other companies.
Yeah. But there's certainly like some consumer fatigue.
And just generally, I think they wouldn't, if they were going to do that, they'd need to signal to their audience, hey, this is the money situation, because their main target audience is kids.
Yes, of course, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're 100% just, I think they're aware, and I do think they took the criticism of, like, the performance of Scarlet and Violet at launch to heart. I mean, they put out a statement about it after it came out, being like that they, or at least letting us know that they were aware of all of the criticism. So I can imagine, like, as a Japanese company, there might be, like, some pride or honor thing that goes along with that, and they may try to improve in the future.
Well, and companies tend to try to do well, at least if they want to have if they're in a semi-competitive space.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I think they want to make sure that they can accelerate the brand and make sure that it's still going strong and that they don't weaken it, right?
Mm-hmm.
People talk about Pokemon being like too big to fail, which is, I think, kind of true. But I think you can still weaken your brand, and you could hurt your future profits, right? Like, you could stagnate.
I will say, I had to cover for one of my employees this week who was on PTO for our after school program at an elementary school, and those kids are obsessed with Pokemon.
Man. I think Pokemon cards have like really especially taken off recently.
Yeah, I took some of my that I had lying around, I took some cards and gave everybody one card, and they went wild. I'm like, this was a mistake. I should not have done this. Y'all are swarming me.
Oh man. Yeah, especially if it's like the older stuff too.
It was from around the I think it was like a Fates Collide stuff I had just like from like a PuckleCon probably, but
I know what you mean.
I'm not giving them my old stuff.
That's what I mean by older stuff, to be fair, is like the XY stuff. Like the cards that are really valuable are when people like really fell off the game between like 2003 to like 2013. Like those are like the cards that are uber valuable. But yeah, I don't know. Well, this has been an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about something.
Also, I have strep throat, and I need that to be known because I will sacrifice anything to give
for the
people
podcast.
what they want. And I just need people to know how hard I work.
Well, with that, guys, we appreciate Sublime, and we have to go to the news. So let's cue that epic music.
Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about. The Netflix anime releases the next batch of episodes on February 7th. This is, I think, like the earliest we've gotten notifications of that, which is kind of cool. We are in like the new season too, I think, with that as well, like the next season. So that's pretty cool. In Unite news, Tinkaton releases this week. They're also giving away like 5
days?
free a couple days, probably.
By the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like a day or two after. So
they're also giving away 5 free Pokemon for logging in daily, which is
Christmas.
Really cool, actually. And I will be doing that. That's how this goes. As well, Pokemon TV, that app that died, has returned, but as a YouTube channel that offers full episodes. They released the first 9 episodes on the first day of the channel going live.
I miss Pokemon TV.
Yeah, well, now it's on YouTube, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that they did that. I mean, I have seen other companies go this way as well, where they just like start uploading the old episodes. Like this happened with like Power Rangers. They've just uploaded all the seasons to YouTube over the years.
Pokemon's business model has always been addict them young, and they'll be your market forever.
Well, I think they're just realizing like how people watch TV now too. Like nobody needs another app, right? Like. And you can go to YouTube and they could probably, I don't know if they have ads turned on these or not, but they could just make ad revenue and there's probably more money than they were making on the Pokemon TV app, right? So they're getting money for their backlog of content. And especially since, Ash's run is done, you can just have Ash's run on YouTube. And honestly, these are probably higher quality. They're probably actually like HD compared to some of the DVDs you buy with the complete seasons on them.
DVDs? I have some on VHS.
I know, right?
What's that? I've never heard of a VHS.
Shut up. No, yes, you have.
We know you have.
I have some on VHS.
If you've heard of Pokemon, you've heard of VHS.
Okay. No, that's not true. That's not true. Okay.
Well, no, but like they overlapped in their existence. Okay.
They did overlap. I definitely have some of the VHSs back home. I've just been spending the time like collecting the DVD sets.
Yeah, I have some Johto in VHSs somewhere.
Yeah, I've got some Johto on VHS. I've got some of the original season on VHS. I think you could have actually gotten all of like the original Indigo League on VHS. The problem is, I don't know, this is gonna date us, right? But like, you had to like get 3 episodes at a time essentially on a VHS. Over 80 some episodes to be able to get the whole season. So, I mean, you do the math, right? I think that's like 27 VHSs. And they were probably selling those at like $10 a pop back then.
Most people would just watch it after school, though. I know I did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And remember, kids, this was the 90s, so $10.
$10 back then was a lot of money. That was like $20. Today. It was like 20, yeah. It was a crisp adult dollar. That's what I like to call my 20s. This is an adult dollar. So yeah, it was expensive. So you would have to spend essentially like the equivalent of like $480 for the full season. But that was before like selling TV shows as seasons was like a really big deal or thing as well. But yeah, I know some people actually do go around now and try to collect the Pokemon VHS sets and stuff like that, which I mean, good for them, good for them. I don't know that I could ever do that.
Hipsters are so interesting.
Yeah. It's like a really cool piece of history. I will say that. It is a cool piece of history. But on that note, what else we got? We got Scarlet and Violet news.
Yeah, so a regional for Atlanta has been added to the calendar for April. And when I first read this, I thought, Atlanta's not a Pokemon. How can it have a regional?
Seth is very happy. He sent me a message.
Yeah.
When it was announced, Seth immediately sent me a DM asking me if I wanted to go to Atlanta. And I said, probably
yes,
not.
but-
At least it's a hub. Like, it's a very easy direct flight.
They have a really fabulous aquarium I really want to visit, but we'll see. Also, the new season of Dual Destiny
in Pokemon Go.
In Pokemon Go is going to end with the Unova tour in February.
That's
and there are no Phoenix Wright collaborations at this time because Dual Destinies was a Phoenix Wright game. That's the.
I feel like it's also a Yu-Gi-Oh set of some type.
It actually has to be, right? Like, let me look at
Dual Wright in it.
Dual Destinies, Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, that has to be a thing. Duel of Destiny was a thing. Duel of Destiny
Duel of the Fates
is an instrumental composition from the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh anime. So it might have exactly been the Duel of Fates, yeah.
A new Pokedex UI coming with this month's Community Day on December 21st and 22nd, which is when the winter solstice is, so that's fun.
It'll be the darkest.
It'll be the shortest day of the year.
The most depressing day of the year.
I love it.
All right, so there's some TCG news. Go ahead, Lynian.
There is. McDonald's cards are likely to be coming soon. This year, the theme's gonna be dragons. So don't be dragging your way out there. Umbreon is also there. Should hit US probably before Lunar New Year. Just don't think about the Rayquaza and Charizard having the deregulation stamp.
Yeah, that means it's not in rotation. Yeah, D is like way old now. So these are reprints of like OG cards from like Sword and Shield. They do this a lot though when they do like the McDonald's cards. They kind of I think they purposely choose like not playable cards. Just to get like kids hooked on like collecting, right? And, you put cool cards in there with art that already exists. Like, they're just reusing it for McDonald's.
Well, because
like,
they know what happens if they accidentally print something at a promo like this.
Yeah.
It's bad for them.
Yeah, it's not like they're putting EXs or anything in there.
They have the PR nightmare.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did have the thing way back when it was the cool thing to just go and, like, buy... cool, in quotes, to buy, like, the 100 Happy Meals or whatever. To get their
I think
cards,
they just desperately want to avoid that.
Yes, they absolutely
Pocket
do.
Has a Venusaur event going on until Friday. There's also a Wonder Pick event with Bulbasaur, and I can't read because Anonymous Mink is covering up the Google Doc.
Sorry, that's me.
And Magnemite. And there's a consecutive Win PvP event. A new pack is rumored for next Monday. I hope so. I'm gonna be real. Mewtwo, Pikachu, and Charizard are a bunch of Pokemon I don't particularly care about.
No,
so
I agree with you.
I'm excited to see 3 new options.
I mean, they absolutely
probably going to be
did
one new option.
They did absolutely use it though to like just bring in old people to come and play and be like, "Hey, remember when you collected cards?"
I fully understand that this is just because I'm just ever so slightly too young for the target on this.
Yes.
But I also just don't care about them. So we'll see what's on the horizon.
Yeah.
I had the realization that none of my favorite Pokemon are what we would call in the zoological field charismatic megafauna. They're not going to sell a pack. Also, Puckle's Badge Bonanza is TCG this month.
Yeah, you just have to get.
What's it going to be this way? What's it going to be?
You have to play TCG Live and get to Ultra Ball. Done. We have a nice little guide with like some decks that you can get if you're new to TCG Live because they give you a bunch of free cards. And we have like some decks that you can build that are going to be good enough to get you started until you can get more crystals to buy more cards. And it's very simple to actually hit Ultra Ball nowadays. You can't lose points getting up there, and you just keep playing.
Play enough then, yeah.
You just play enough and you get there. It's very easy. So I think it's a lot of fun, and if you want to try to get in the TCG, you're more than welcome. I'm going to be doing it on stream a little bit this week as well, on Tuesday. So yeah, you can come and hang out. You can learn more. I did go through some of like the starter decks that we had built and tried to explain how they work and all that other stuff. So if you're confused and you want some help, come by. I'll help you out on Tuesday.
And if you want advice that I'm going to offer, remember folks, if you timer stall, they may concede out of pure frustration.
They did decrease the timer recently, so it's not, you can't do it as long anymore. So
You're nerfing my strats, Thatch.
Yeah,
I like
nerfing
it.
your strats. And in Wo Chien's News Corner, news brought to you at a snail's pace. 10 years ago this week, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire released on the Wii U Virtual Console. I own that, yeah. And Japan got a Greninja event based on Smash Brothers, as well as teasing the movie with the Primals and Shiny Mega Rayquaza being sucked into portals, which is the Hoopa movie. Ash's Froakie also evolved in the anime as well. Wow, what a time to be alive.
Remember when there were days there were news?
Yeah,
I don't.
Right? And then Puckle's Pokey Opinion. What is your favorite winter-themed Pokemon? Mine
So, like,
is
my favorite
Snover.
ice type? What do you mean
Mine's
winter themed?
I think Snover is perfectly winter-themed because it's the Christmas tree Pokemon.
Yeah, that works. That makes sense. I'm going to say Avalugg.
I like that. Avalug's good. I mean, like, I could say, like, Sawsbuck is winter-themed and it's not an ice type, right? Like, I mean, it literally has a winter form. So there are, like, there's, like, non-ice types, but they're mostly ice types.
Oh, I have a Pokemon Christmas sweater with a Stantler on it.
That's good. That's a good one, too.
Yeah. I also have one with Psyduck, so...
I think there's, like, 2 episodes in the anime where Santa Claus is involved, which is weird to think about, by the way, but... and I think in one
classic old school.
Like old Pokemon, yeah. I think one of them he has Stantler to like pull the sleigh, and then but one of the appearances was in Gen 1, and I think it got scrapped because Jinx was in it. So it's really hard to see.
Is.
Yeah, but in that one he definitely had like a Rapidash pull the sleigh instead because they didn't have like a deer Pokemon at the time.
That's funny.
That's great.
Yeah. It's a good time. Santa Claus does exist in the Pokemon universe, so keep that in mind.
And Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my favorite winter-themed Pokemon, probably Zen Mode, Galarian Darmanitan.
Zenbo,
Oh, yeah, Snowman.
Galarian Darmanitan. That's a good one, actually. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a good one. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick it on over then to Puckle's Poke Quiz. We're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to jump right on into it. Our first question this week for you two is going to come to you from Smeargle19. Which generation introduced the most single-stage Pokemon?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good
Gen
one.
7 immediately comes to mind.
I was leaning towards 7 too, because you got Drampa and...
Well, you have a ton of them. You've got Delmise, Drampa, Turtonator, Komala, all of these.
Yeah.
All
What's
of these
that
Pokemon.
Dragon Fire type?
That'd be Turtonator.
Turtonator, yeah, you got a lot. Minior.
Mm-hmm. And then you have all of the Ultra Beasts and the Tapu.
And all them UBs.
But, wait, Gen 9.
I feel like... Well, if it's with Gen 9, it's mostly just the,
I mean, there's still, like, Squawkabilly and all that, but they also have 2 categories of only one thing, you know?
Yeah. And then they kept adding more. So I feel like it's either 7 or 9. The other thing is, like, most of them were not version exclusives. There's, like, a couple version exclusives in Gen 7, and in Gen 9, there's, like, a lot. Like, there are so many version exclusives that are one-stagers in Gen 9.
I'm going to need an
So
answer.
maybe it is Gen 9.
Let's say Gen 9, and if it's Gen 7, we
won't
still
feel bad.
spiritually win.
Yeah.
The answer is Gen 9 with a total of 41.
And yeah,
Isn't
That's
that
what
about
percentage
higher
of
than I
those?
would have guessed.
Yeah,
and
it's
what
like
percentage
insane.
of those?
I think at least half of those have to be like Paradox Pokemon, right? Like
Exactly.
like so many of them have to be
Because then they kept adding
Paradox
more and
Pokemon.
more Paradox. It's like, oh, here's the dog trio. Oh, here's the it's like, oh, here's more
Yeah.
and more. Okay.
Well, I mean, then you also have things like Orthworm, and you've got
What a forgettable
you've got like
Pokemon. Cloth.
Veluza. You've got the three legendary like the you've got like Ogerpon, Pheasantipity, Monkey Tori, Okidogi.
The cursed quad quartet.
Terrapagos, Petron. Like there's so many I could think of. So they're I mean, and Flamigo. Who could forget Flamigo?
Flamingo's
I
a cool one.
frequently.
And Bombardier.
I do like Bombardier. Bombardier.
Bombardier. But yeah, all right. You guys got that right. So you're 1 for 1. Our next question is going to come to you from Maman. What is the only non-poison type Pokemon to have the ability Poison Point?
Seadra.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is correct. That's correct. Yeah.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that on that before.
All right. I am choosing your Pokedex entry question today based on the name of the person that submitted the question. This TCG entry actually comes to you from the Astral Radiance TCG card that it has. This is from Joey Pouchboy. And the entry reads, this Pokemon is known to bring blizzards. A shake of its massive body is enough to cause whiteout conditions. Who's that Pokemon?
Abomasnow? Mamoswine?
Mamoswine ain't causing blizzards by shaking its body. It's too furry.
I'll say Abomasnow.
I feel like Abomasnow is my first pick.
Abomasnow is correct. So that is the Pokemon. I like that it's also a TCG entry, which is really cool. The second entry was
Joey Pouchboy.
Joey Pouchboy. Interesting
JPB.
questions. I appreciate it. This is the second entry was going to be from Pokemon Black and White, and it says they appear when the snow flowers bloom. When the petals fall, they retreat to places unknown again. So yeah. Your next question, guys. I'm gonna let you choose. This is worth up to 2 points for you since you're 4 and 3. And we have a question about abilities and a question about the anime, the old
Abilities,
anime, not
please.
the new. Oh, right. You may hate this one more than the other one. This is from the Afterman. Of the 47 Pokemon that have access to the Swift Swim ability, can you name the 5 non-water types? I will give you a point for every 2 that you can name, and if you get all 5, kudos to you, I guess. Beartick is correct. You do have to lock them in. Beartick is correct, yes.
So are they lines or are they Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Okay. Hisuian Quillfish.
That is correct, yes.
Overquill.
That is also correct. That is 3.
So Cubchoo?
No, Cubchoo is false. That is
Cubchoo
the first
doesn't,
right.
actually. Anorith.
Anorith is correct. That is 4.
Armaldo.
Oh, and Armaldo.
That's 5.
And
That's all 5. There you go. 2 points. 2 points. So you guys are 6 for 4. Your last question is your base stat question, as always. This is going to be like the shortest Poke Quiz ever. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. You guys are just answering too well.
Sometimes it works out, you know?
Yeah, it just happens. This one's going to come from Guru Dude. That's how you pronounce that. That's how you say words, Thatch. What monotype Pokemon has the highest base defense?
Probably Mega Aggron, right?
Probably Mega Aggron, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything...
Oh, what about Deoxys defense?
I don't think it's actually higher.
Then it's probably Mega Aggron.
Because
It's gotta be one of those 2.
And also, I think this is a callback to the Patreon episode, the patron trivia episode with Mega Aggron.
Gosh, Mega Aggron. that was a good bit. Clever Rhino had a good bit there, okay? I appreciated it.
I'm just trying to think if there are any other... No, because all the other ones that are super high defense, like Mega Steelix, Stack Attack, that I can think of that are over 200, those are all...
Dual
Shuckle.
type.
Those are all dual types. So yeah, I think it's Mega Aggron.
Mega Aggron is correct. That is the answer. You guys got a perfect score today. In possibly record time? I don't know the answer to that. All right. And so that gives you guys 8 points for today. You are both tied for first place as well with Claude 9 and R Sigma. It's 8s all around. Nobody's got anything else to get on the board. They're in a race to see whoever gets the most by, I don't know, Thanksgiving next year, probably. That sounds right. And yeah, we'll see who gets there. And they can win their have a chance for the $25 gift card to Applebee's. With that, though, guys, we are going to kick it on over to our topic. Hey, Thatch here. A lot of you have been asking how you can hang out with us during the week. Well, the best way to do so is come to our Discord server at puclpodcast.com. You can join our server and you can hang out with us, talk Pokemon, battle, do a bunch of cool things, join in our tournaments. So what's stopping you? Come on over, puclpodcast.com. You can jump right on in and have a good time talking with the hosts of the show, as well as the large community we've gathered over the years. So come on, let's hang out. Welcome to our topic. Our topic today is our top 5, bottom 5 Generation 7 Pokemon. For those of you who have not listened to this type of episode before, we're going to go around nominating Pokemon for top 5 and bottom 5 in this category. What does that mean? That means whether or not we all agree that those are like Pokemon representative of that generation or something that important in that generation that we want to highlight or discourage. There's no hard and fast criteria. Of course, you can always send us an email at puclpodcast@gmail.com letting us know what your favorite and least favorite Pokemon are from this generation. We love hearing that, and I love reading those lists. In addition, we are including in Generation 7 the regional forms for Pokemon because we think that's important, and they also didn't get mentioned in previous top 5, bottom 5, so I wanted to give Pokemon a chance to do that.
I mean, of all the generations, 7 is the one where...
This is also the generation that added them. Yeah.
Where they were the bangers, right? Yeah, they were the bangers in here. Yeah.
It added the concept.
I mean, they took the concept and they very much like improved it, right? Like they proved the concept out and they chose the Pokemon very specifically and intentionally for regionals. So like, I think it'd be a shame if like at least one regional wasn't on that list.
I think we all know which one it's going to be.
I can tell. I know there's going to be at least another second one nominated by Lynian, and I know exactly which one that is.
Look, I have a brand.
I know. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna choose some things that I don't think are gonna perform that well, but are things that I like and I want to talk about anyway. Mm-hmm. One that I think that I'd like to nominate for top that I think is really fun, really cool. And it's just like a cool Pokemon in general is just Salazzle. I think it's a pain in the butt to evolve. I love
Salazzle, but it is a pain. Yeah.
We did actually mention this in the like the Gen 4 top 5 bottom 5 about when we mentioned Salazzle in reference to Combi. Because it's the exact same.
Salazzle has somehow aged worse.
Has it?
I don't know. Like Combi is just like, I don't know. When you evolve Combi, you get another bug flying type, right? Like you just get another bug flying type.
No. What I mean by that is like you can look at a Combi now that you see them in the overworld. You have to check each Salazzle.
Oh, you can identify. That's true. You can immediately identify a Combi's gender.
That's true, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, the generational differences on Salandit are not like that.
No, there aren't any.
They're non-existent, right? So.
This is not me dunking on it. I just think that's a funny change.
That's true. That is true. I just think that Salazzle is a cooler payoff.
It has a great shiny too.
Yeah. Oh, shiny Salazzle is really solid. You are correct. But yeah, that would be my nomination only because I thought it was like it's a really cool typing. The ability Corrosion is also really cool in that it can poison steel types.
Should we pick it? I don't know, but I'm down with it because I really like it as well.
We could just like put it there and like we can do our honorable mentions and knock it off. Like it could be on the bottom. Like I'm okay with that, but I just think it's a cool Pokemon.
I'm fine. It's probably not going to stick, but I'm okay putting it there for a bit. We decided this very last minute, and I'm realizing this was a terrible decision for me purely because this is my favorite generation by a long shot. And I'm looking at all of these Pokemon, and I'm like, oh, I can't pick 5.
Oh, I can get us there. It'll be fine.
I can help. Yeah,
We'll get us there.
We'll get us there. We'll get us there.
Yeah, we will. I have faith.
I have a lot of faith in us for this.
What about your bottom pick?
I'm gonna put Salazzle. We're gonna put a pin in Salazzle for top. We're gonna put it there. But if we can knock it down, I'm here for it. And so for bottom pick, I think there's a couple answers to this for me at least. Particularly care for. And I think a very fast and easy answer is just like gumshoes. Like
I was gonna pick gumshoes too.
I don't care. It's not for bottom. Yeah. I just don't think it's a great Pokemon. It also reminds us of a person that none of us want to talk about. Also,
like, why would you want gumshoes when you can have an Alolan Raticate, you know? So, like, no.
Exactly. Like, I love that they came up with, like, a regional for, the regional rodent from another generation. And then they're just like, yeah, but we got to do that again. But just, like, boring. What if we did that? And that's what they did with gumshoes. I don't like it. I don't think it needs to exist. And also, did you know it's a daytime? It's a time-based evolution too, by the way.
Those, I'm no longer mad about those because Gen 9 desynced the clock, so you're never more than 20 minutes out.
Yes, thank God. Yeah, thank God.
But also, I don't like gumshoes.
Does anyone?
Put it on the bottom.
I like the idea of a detective. I like that they did, being based on Hawaii, I think a mongoose was a good call. I feel very whatever about gumshoes.
Yeah, gumshoes is meh. I'm putting it at the bottom. I think that's what we're saying.
It's really good in PTU, and that's the best thing I can say in its defense.
I agree with that. All right. So yeah, whoever wants to go next.
Let's do Sublime. It'll give me a chance to...
I'm gonna do what Thatch did, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna stay in our top 5, but it's one of my favorites, so I'm just gonna go for it. And that is Serena.
Serena's okay.
She a baddie. Serena's cool.
I think of the numerous grass types that we were given in Generation 7, it is the better one.
And Queenly Majesty's a really cool ability.
No, I think Contrary stuff is cooler, but, like, Serena's fine.
I think so. I like Serena better than Lurantis. Lurantis is wearing like weird 1970s pants.
Hard agree. Yeah.
And Serena will drop kick you.
Yeah, Serena's fine. I do think it says a lot about us, somehow extremely incorrectly, that the first two things we put in the top were Salazzle and Serena.
Actually, yeah, but...
But she's wearing thigh-high boots.
Queenly Majesty is also like a cool ability that never gets used, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, it's actually very good in the VGC. Especially, yeah.
It is good in VGC. It is, yeah.
I swear to God, if the next thing one of you two puts forward is Pheromosa, I'm just quitting the podcast.
You know, Pheromosa's on my list because it's my favorite Ultra Beast, but that's another story for another day.
Actually, I would go for Buzzwole over Pheromosa.
Yes.
See, I think we should just split the difference and pick Naganadel then. But that's another story for another day.
No, we pick the other Ultra Beast. We can't start this. I will end it.
Yeah, Serena, I knew was a hard sell. Serena was a hard sell. What I actually think should be in the top 5, for sure.
I think Serena's good. We can put Serena there.
Oh, okay. Work. Cool. Love that.
I don't know if it'll stay, but we can put it there.
Yeah, we can put it there. Yeah.
No, because, yeah. All right. And then for bottom, ooh, you took my first bottom pick with Gumshoe. So I'm going to say...
I think it's just an easy one, so...
Crabrawler. Yeah, like...
Okay. Do not... No, I'll fight you. Don't hurt my crab. I don't know what about Pokemon, crab Pokemon I have, but, like, I love my crab Pokemon.
Really? You go hard for Cloth?
Cloth is fine. Like, I like Cloth. I would have given you guys Crabominable. But I would not give you I will not give you Crabrawler.
Well, let's do Crabominable then, because I hate its evolution method. I like just the line is why, but like I hate Crabominable. It's like ugh.
I hate the way that I do hate the way it was implemented in that it was just like, hey, on your way to the Elite Four, you can finally evolve this Crabrawler. I do hate that.
That you have never carried around because why would you?
Because you didn't know it would evolve, and
yeah, Crabominable, it's disappointing. It's too slow to make use of its type. Like,
I didn't realize that it actually lost 20 speed when it evolves.
Because it's Alolan, and that's what they do.
I mean, all of the Alolan Pokemon are just on island time. It's fine. And
Yeah, everything but Ribombee, right? So, like, I would say Crabominable.
Yeah, it's like everything but Ribombee.
Well, they're polarized is what it is, like nothing else.
Yeah, it's either fast or slow. There's no middling.
I would be willing to put Crabominable there, but Crabrawler I think is just a cool Pokemon.
Yeah, let's put Crabominable. Yeah, Crabrawler, whatever. Crabominable, put it.
Yeah, we can put Crabominable there.
It does. Crabominable feels like an evolution they gave to Crabrawler because somebody felt that Crabrawler should evolve.
What it feels like is, you know what? Crabrawler feels like a Gen 3 Pokemon in its design, generally.
I agree with that,
and
actually. Yeah.
Crabominable feels like the Gen 4 evolution they gave it.
I see that so much.
I agree with that energy.
A lot of the Gen 4 evolutions lost speed, too, so it adds up.
I do. I agree with that feeling. Like Crabrawler, I'm like perfectly fine with being a Pokemon, and they could have just like given me a single stage Crabrawler. I'd be like, this is a cool Pokemon. And then Crabominable is just like, okay, so now you're making my Pokemon feel unfinished, but making the finished product much worse than what I already had.
I actually like Crabominable a little bit. It's just got goof energy, but it's not. It's in the bottom of a very stacked generation for me.
It's that, and I think they just really. I think they just dropped the ball on the implementation. Like, honestly, I'm glad that it evolves with like an Ice Stone now, and that just makes life easier. At the introduction, it was just poorly done.
I feel like it doesn't even yeah, not a fan of Crabominable.
All right, so now I'm gonna start with the bottom because I think this will be a pretty easy slam dunk. I like the fish that Bruxish are based on a lot, and that only makes me more ambivalent about it. It's just...
I feel like as I looked at the list, I'm like, I feel like the bottom 5 is very obvious, and Bruxish is the one I would nominate next. So I'm okay with Bruxish.
I'm fine with that.
I agree with Bruxish being just like terrible, so...
I don't think it's terrible, but I'm fine with it in the bottom.
Yeah, like I want to like it because I love Triggerfish, the thing that it's based on. They're gorgeous, but that thing is just weird. I don't like him.
It's okay. Bruxis walked so that Veluza could run.
And there are a lot of different Pokemon I could put forward and will. I'm gonna honorable mention Minior. I don't think that for a general people's list it's up there, but it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. But it's your favorite Pokemon. Yeah.
I see that. I feel like Minior is like a quintessential part of Gen 7, but not like a mascot. You know what I mean?
And it's something that is personally, I love all of the design elements, but it's not. I know that that's a me thing. A Pokemon that I think is going to generally just bat out of the park is everyone liked Lycanroc, right? You liked at least one of the three.
Yeah, the fact that there's 3 of them, I think it's a really good representation of the region. That was going to be on my recommendations for top.
I think Duskform is the best one, but yeah.
Duskform is the best mechanically. I love how...
I like that one. I like the colors better than like the Dawn form or like the Day form.
Yeah, I like Midnight's animation so much, like how it, especially in like new Pokemon Snap, or some of the later games where how it hits, like reels back and snaps forward.
New Pokemon Snap fixed a lot of Pokemon, honestly, because like you just get to see them move. It's great.
Yeah, Midnight form is my favorite, even though it's the worst statistically, but it's like the coolest looking to me.
And it has so, every time I've seen it in like the anime, it's so expressive in ways that the other ones just aren't.
I think Lycanroc is a slam dunk.
That's fair. Well, the other ones are just dogs, and the other one's like a Pokemon, I feel like, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, because I feel like nowadays, with a lot of Pokemon designs, it's just like, this is an animal that we made some adjustments to make it a Pokemon. And then, instead of just, like, making Pokemon, and I feel like Lycanroc Midnight form it feels more like a Pokemon, because it's not just like, oh, the dog evolved into a bigger dog.
It feels monstrous in a fun way. I like it.
It feels monstrous, which is good. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. So we can put Lycanroc on the top. We haven't like shot anything down yet, but all right. So it's back to me. We're gonna go through. So I'm gonna nominate a bottom because this one is very easy to, I think, for us to say bottom. I think this is the worst Ultra Beast of all of them, and it's Guzzlord. I think Guzzlord is a terrible Ultra Beast.
You sure?
He's just so over-designed.
It is very over. I think that was kind of the point, to be fair, to over-design him a little bit, but I just don't. I don't like it. It's the typing is Dark Dragon, and we had Hydreigon, which like was a terror when that happened.
It's a worse Dark Dragon. It's an infinitely worse Dark Dragon.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It gets like massive HP and like nothing else.
And garbage defenses so that its massive HP isn't even that good.
And you look at all of the other Ultra Beasts, and even though they have like very spiky alien designs, they're actually geometrically fairly simple. And then there's Guzzlord, who's like, okay, there's a big mouth, and there's a little head, and then there's 2 arms, and then there's 2 other arms, and there's the mouth arms, and a tail. It just does not stop.
I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think Guzzlord just bottom.
Guzzlord is what they accused Reshiram and Zekrom of being.
Yeah, a little bit, though, right? It's, okay, so now it's time for a top, because I think we can all agree on Guzzlord. Guzzlord, bad. I think I would be remiss not to mention my favorite starter, which is Decidueye in this one. We could even go like Rowlet or something, but like I like Decidueye. I think it is the coolest of all of them that came out of this gen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just a solid Pokemon. I like the attack. I like its signature move.
I was really nervous about,
having Grass Ghost as a typing was also super interesting.
At the time.
at the time it was, yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, we had some before that gen too, but
yeah, we had a couple. I mean, there was also another one, right? Like
Trevenant's a really cool Pokemon. Trevenant is a really cool Pokemon.
Trevenant is a cool Pokemon. I mean, I think Gorgeist is also a cool Pokemon. I like
Gorgeist
it.
Gorgeist is like 4 different Pokemon at once too.
And then there's also Delmise, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I like Decidueye.
I was just ambivalent about putting a starter in the top.
If you don't want to, that's fine. We can shoot it down. I don't care.
I like Decidueye more than I liked Serena considerably.
I could get behind that.
I definitely don't, but I'll allow it. Because I didn't expect Serena to get on there.
I could get behind Decidueye over Serena.
In terms of representing the like Alolan era, I feel like Decidueye is definitely the starter that like broke through, you know?
I mean, they gave it another one because people liked it so much.
Sure. I mean, it's in every freaking game. It was in Pokken. It was in like...
I mean, Incineroar also did it, but I also just hate Incineroar.
Well, Incineroar...
We're not picking the most representative. We're picking the best.
Yes, and that's Decidueye. Like, that's Decidueye, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna knock Serena off. Sorry, Serena.
No, I just wanted a shout out to Serena because I love her. I didn't expect her to be in the top 5.
And put Decidueye in its spot. All right, back to you, Sublime. It's your turn.
Okay, when I think of like iconic Pokemon from Alola, I think definitely Mimikyu.
Mimikyu is I don't know how I feel because it's not like the Pika clone, right? It's its own Pokemon.
It's not the Pika clone.
No, but it's not. It's significantly more beloved and known.
Yes, that is true.
People forget Togedemaru exists, as evidenced by last week's episode.
They do, actually. They do. Last week's episode proved that.
And it's because there's a Pika clone every generation, but Mimikyu is very much like but I want to be popular like Pikachu too. And I love that.
Yeah, last week's episode was brutal for that Togedemaru.
And you know what? Mimikyu deserves it. It's a fun design. It's a great typing. It's one of my favorite pocket draft picks because, it turns out if you give that thing a red card, you set up? No, you didn't.
Yeah, Mimikyu's great. You know what? I can get behind Mimikyu. I can get behind that. I like Mimikyu.
And then for bottom, some people gonna be mad at me, but like, why is Delmise?
Delmise was one of the only we had like almost all of the Pokemon introduced in generation
in Gen 7, right? Because they were like showing so many in advance.
In Gen 7, yeah, like every single Pokemon except for like Delmise and Araquanid were showed, I think.
And why do you think that was? They're like, let me show everything but Delmise. It's because they knew. What is this ugly...
Which was a 1% encounter as well. Delmise is like a 1% encounter.
It was 10% if you knew what you're doing, but also, yeah. I won't speak to his defense.
I think he's a super interesting Pokemon for what it is, to be fair. Like, I think Delmise is super interesting with like Steelworker as the ability and stuff like that, to give it essentially 3 stabs.
We have there's an oversaturation of grass ghost types. There is like...
it's an interesting one though with like a signature move. which is what it's got going for it, and that's about it, right?
Fine. I don't have a lot of affection for it, and that's actually less than I can say about most of this generation, so I don't know what else I'd put down there, so that's fine.
Is Delmise in Generation 9? Or maybe it made it Generation 8. Maybe it must have been in Swish. It was in Swish. Yeah.
It was in Gen 8, but it wasn't in Gen 9. It was also extremely annoying to encounter in Gen 8.
Yes, it was.
To the point where I don't remember how you did it.
Right, like, it's just an annoyance. That or Pukamuku. Ugh.
All right. Well, you know what? Delmise, you're going on the bottom. We've essentially filled out the bottom. We do have a spot left for the top, and then we could do, of course, if we want to like fight for anything or mention anything, we can make that last stand. But Lynian, we need a top, and if you have something that's worse than the 5 that we have on the bottom, you're more than welcome to try to fight it.
I don't really. Again, I have too much affection. Like, the only thing is like maybe Oranguru, which is just forgettable.
I like Oranguru. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Oranguru is like a good supporting cast member. I don't think it's like...
Yeah, I prefer Oranguru to Passimian. I'd sooner put Passimian in the bottom.
I like Passimian enough. So, I have to say it. I know it's going to get shot down and we'll move on, but it is...
We're going to move on to the replacement. Absolutely. I know exactly what's happening. Say it, though.
Yeah. Look, Alolan Executor is absolutely hilarious. He is one of my favorites of all time and just an absolute goof. He is also the Pokemon they used to introduce the concept of regional variants in the video.
Was it Alolan Executor they used, or did they use... Okay.
Yes, they used Alolan Executor, and then for a second example, moved to Ninetales and Sandslash.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So what they started with, they said new regional variants, and I can still see the font because that's how unified the branding was at the point. And then it showed Executor, and then this goober.
I mean, he is cool.
Who was huge. The tallest Pokemon model by a long shot. It's got the funny little kiss mouth. It's hilarious. It's got the dragon type, which is objectively the funniest thing they could have done with it. It's perfect, actually. No notes.
I mean, they could have made it good.
Plus, it got me to ask if things were in a line a lot, and so, you know.
I would much rather, if we're going to put a regional form in, at its top, put in, like, Alolan Ninetales, yeah, right?
But we gotta put Alolan Ninetales, though, right? Yeah.
Alolan Ninetales is so popular that the only Vulpix that was available in Legends Arceus was the Alolan Vulpix.
Nope, that is just incorrect.
That's the only Alolan form that was in there.
There are other Alolan forms that I like a lot and more than other things on this list, like Alolan Raichu, but I know other people are not going to back me on that.
I like Alolan Raichu, and I
like a Alolan. If I was to pick something besides Ninetales, it would be Marowak.
Yeah, Marowak saw. I think okay, all of the Alolan forms, with like the exception of maybe Dugtrio, are like good, I think.
Persian. I don't like Persian.
Garfield's okay.
Golem. I like Persian, I do like.
I know it's a Scottish fold, but I think those cats are ugly too, and if you have one and you're offended, sure. So, yeah.
But I'd rather Ninetales. I'd rather Ninetales over that, though. I mean, I just think it's more representative. Even
I acknowledge that the council has made a decision. It's
extremely popular. Listen, I'm right there with you. I had to get rid of Serena.
I mean, to be fair, my favorite one is Alolan Sandshrew. My favorite's Alolan Sandshrew, but I think I can agree that like Alolan Ninetales is just like that much. It's just iconic.
Ninetales is the icon. Yeah, she's that girl. She is.
Okay, does anybody want to fight anything on the list anywhere?
I was going to ask, do we want to somehow squeeze in, like, Oricorio, or, like, I don't know, things that are very unique to...
Oricorio is fine. Like, if I were gonna try to squeeze in anything...
Solgaleo and Lunala, I feel like I want to at least mention.
I was going to sooner ask, can we fit in a Ultra Beast?
Like a Tapu or an Ultra Beast? Like, we have an Ultra Beast in the bottom.
If we want to talk top Ultra Beasts, I love most of them. I think Buzzwole's going to be the easiest one, but I also deeply love Kartana and Stakataka, and I'm still pretty fond of Blacephalon. If you guys can't tell, I love the silly Pokemon from this generation. I feel like this was the generation that had the best goofballs.
My favorite one's still Xurkitree, but I think it's just because it's just a electric type guy. But I mean, I liked all the ones that you said as well. Yeah, Xurkitree's I like Xurkitree. It's fine.
Can we just have a spot that's every Ultra Beast except Guzzlord?
Yeah, just the Ultra Beasts. The Ultra Beasts, yeah.
The Ultra Beasts that aren't Guzzlord.
So it's just, you just put in whatever your favorite Ultra Beast is in your heart, and if it's Guzzlord, you're wrong.
I would be okay with removing Salazzle for this, for an Ultra Beast.
Yeah, let's drop Salazzle and just say Ultra Beasts.
Ultra Beast minus Guzzlord.
Yeah, because, Ultra Beasts kind of introduced the concept of there being, not Pokemon as Pokemon, which we then got paradoxes, and, introduced the idea of there being other things in the world of Pokemon.
I actually really, we've talked about this on the show before in, older episodes, but I think Ultra Beasts are just really cool in the way that they're designed. They're very intentionally designed to look alien, because they take a lot of the rules that are in Pokemon design in terms of just like a good example is the eyes of Pokemon are all.
There are more than the 4 or 5 eyes or whatever they say, but
there's more for the 4 or 5, but there's obviously a rule to how they should be to some extent, and they went and they broke all that for Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, the big ones to me is it must be obvious how this thing eats, and then you look at some of these or exists in this world, and you look at Xurkitree, and then its planet, you're like, none of this makes sense, actually.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, right? So they do that on purpose to make it feel alien, and I really, really like that. So yeah, no, I honestly like concepts of Ultra Beast more than I like the concept of Paradox Pokemon, but it's fine.
I think the average result was better.
Yes, I would agree with that. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, I think part of it is it's us.
But that's only because everything from the future is just iron.
Well, I think it's just also that it's not built on previous source material as well. You know what I mean? I think that helps. Also, most of the future Paradox Pokemon are just but what if robot?
Oh, most of the past Pokemon are but if dinosaur. There are just a few more that had something into them. And this is coming from the dinosaur apologist, so. No,
I agree with you as well on that. I just think there's more variation in dinosaurs than there is on robot. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. At the very least, they should have made Iron Leaves look more like one of those absolutely terrifying Boston Dynamics dogs, but nope.
Yeah, that would have been cool, actually.
Yeah. That's too dark for Pokemon.
I didn't say they would give it the gun.
All right, so our list is the following. In the top slots, we've got Alolan Ninetales, Mimikyu, Lycanroc, any of them, your choice, Decidueye, and all of the Ultra Beasts minus Guzzlord. In the bottom 5, we've got Delmise, Guzzlord, Bruxish, Crabominable, and Gumshoes. Let us know at puclpodcast@gmail.com what your top 5 and bottom 5 Gen 7 Pokemon are. With that, though,
you won't win the green Taurus badge because we know who will email, but
he won't get the. He already has it, so he won't get it. It's fine. I'm honestly if we get more than 4 emails or something, I'm just gonna read his as its own segment. It's fine. It's a beautiful email. It's a beautiful email, and I love it.
We haven't read it, but we know it's beautiful.
It's gonna be a beautiful email. It's fine. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're gonna kick it on over to our Pokemon of the episode.
The episode.
Welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 785, Tapu Koko, the land spirit Pokemon.
Its Ultra Sun Dex entry reads, although it's called a guardian deity, if a Pokemon or person puts it in a bad mood, it will become a malevolent deity and attack.
Okay. Well, that's something. So Tapu Koko was probably one of the best Pokemon. Well, I mean, all the Tapus were very good when they came out, actually. I think Bulu got the short end of the stick because they purposely didn't give it play rough. So it wouldn't be
fine.
super
they didn't
impressive.
Give it Grassy Glide either.
No, they didn't. They did not. I think they're scared of Tapu Bulu being good.
Instead, they just gave Tapu Koko everything.
Yeah, Tapu Koko is really good, though. Electric Fairy is also just Fairy is a good type.
Fairy's a good type. It makes every other type better.
Yeah. Oh, Grass, it's just
Even Grass is not bad. Sure,
it's
you
not
have
bad.
a quad weakness.
It's not significantly improved.
Electric is definitely a middle of the road type, I think.
It's great defensively because
yes.
it's only got the one
Very
weakness.
few weaknesses, only one, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get a bunch of resistances. I think it's like electric and flying. It gets resistances
Flying.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's a pretty middle of the road like
And steel,
type.
which
And
neutralizes
steel.
the
Yes,
weakness
that's
for
true.
fairy.
That's not bad for the fairy type, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Tapu Koko is only weak to poison and ground, so good for Tapu Koko. And I mean, base 130 speed. The attack stats are where it's kind of wonky because it gets like 115 attack
Well,
and 95 speed.
Sure,
Or 95
but
special
you
attack.
have electric terrain on the ground.
Yeah, you do. And so like, I mean, using Thunderbolt is not like the best. You'd want to do like Wild Charge or something really, but
This thing
most
was
of the time
a
they're
monster
unspecial.
when it was playable.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was.
This thing was a monster.
It was. It's always good. It's just always like electric terrain's a good terrain. You can't fall asleep in it. It's just good in that sense. And yeah, I don't know. Tapu Koko is just a cool Pokemon. It was it's definitely it's like the poster child, I think, for the Tapus. They had these cool figures for Tapu Koko, like when it was out, where it can actually like fold up and become like the head. And I'm kind of bummed that they didn't release the other Tapus like that, where you could buy like an action figure where they could like go into the head that they do for the Z move. I like it because I think that is really cool, and I would love if they were just like models made of just like the folded up Tapus. I think that would be really cool. I also think that that's a quartet that you could see something happen to, like, you know how in Legends Arceus we got an Amorous? I could see a world where we get like a 5th Tapu or something at some point as well.
Yeah, the Tapu are based pretty distinctly on the on several specific deities in Hawaiian myth. I know, I can't remember I knew this all at one point, and I'm ashamed that I don't remember it all right now. I know Tapu Koko, I believe, is mapped pretty tightly to Kane, and then we have Lono for Tapu Bulu. I don't remember who Tapu Lele and Tapu Fini.
There's Ku, Kanaloa, I'm pronouncing these.
Kanaloa?
Kanaloa, that's it. Never mind, I'm bad at this. And Kane, yeah. Maybe I'm mispronouncing them.
So, a little bit, but it's fine. Which, that's the one thing about these I still don't know how I feel about, honestly.
They're
right,
based on
because they're
gods?
based on like an actual culture's like significant
Yeah,
figures.
that feels just a little weird, but it's fine.
I mean, that's the same thing that happened with like Landorus and Tornadus and all that. They're both based on like another culture's thing.
Yes, but as those are in the culture, those are not intelligent human contacting deity type things, in the same way that in Polynesian myth and religion, to vastly oversimplify gods or forces, but they're also very personable, where I don't remember the genies, but the Ryujin and those are just nature spirits.
I mean, we could also catch God.
There is
in
some
Pokemon.
distinction, but
like you could just catch.
And then they made Arceus.
Arceus, yeah.
Yeah, you can just get God. So,
but yeah, I mean, I think they're really cool. I like the Tapus. They're some of my favorites. Actually, this
they were
is
very good.
When I was playing the TCG back in like 2017, 2018. This was like the first deck that I like went and like actually blinged out. Like I played Tapu Koko GX. I remember that very, very vividly. It wasn't a good deck.
I remember Tapu Lele being like a must-have card.
Tapu Lele was like the top card, because I mean it was put Tapu Lele on your bench and go get any supporter you want, and it was a double colorless to attack, which made it even more splashable than it should have been.
That card single-handedly killed double colorless energy, and I don't know
that card did. I don't think that card did.
Help.
I don't think that card's what killed double colorless energy. I think a lot of things. I think double colorless will come back once V's are gone. After rotation, I think double colorless will probably come back properly. They haven't been publishing anything that is like too crazy with a double colorless cost. But that like Lugia is still in the meta, so you don't want to give double colorless to Lugia. You double turbo energies. Honestly, double turbo energies have really great compromise, because you get that reduction in damage for it, which a lot of Pokemon that were abusing double colorless, it does change the game rather significantly. So That rotates out though, unfortunately, after this rotation. So I'm kind of hoping we just get DCE back and we can play the game for funsies. Let's see. But yeah, no, I love the Tapu Koko deck that I was playing. It wasn't good. I remember I won like a local, like a league tournament.
Is that the one that let you switch into the active spot and attach all the energy? Okay.
Yeah. It was the one where, because like Weirder V does that now, right? And yeah, I loved it. I like absolutely love Tapu Koko GX. It was so much fun, and the cards were really pretty. Actually the newest Tapu Koko EX that came out in Paradox Rift, like the art rare, is one of my favorite cards. That came out of this era. It's actually really, really cool. But I do like Tapu Koko GX. I miss that card. It was. When you play this card from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may move any number of electric energy from each of your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. If you do, switch this Pokemon with your active, and it would do like 130 for 2 electric and a colorless, but also for 2 electric and colorless, it could do its GX attack, which does 50 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon, which was kind of cool. So you could very easily get some knockouts. This would not work today, but
it was a simpler time.
I love that deck. And I went and got so many different arts of the Tapu Koko.
Yeah, GX attacks were fun.
Yeah, I love that. Like that deck was just fun to play. I love playing electric decks. They're just always fun. But yeah, the new Tapu Koko EX is like really fun and cool as well. Yeah, I mean in terms of the art, I don't think it's very good, but it's a very cute card. In terms of art, I don't have one. I need to buy one. I'm just gonna buy one. But yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this, actually. Anything you guys want to say about Tapu Koko? Okay, well, with that, guys, that has been Tapu Koko, the Tapu Koko segment. We're going to go ahead and move on to our mailbag. So let's go do that.
It's mail time! Send in your emails!
Welcome to our mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com and we might read it on the show. Typically, we have a question. 2 weeks ago, we asked you what you were thankful for in the Pokemon community, and we got some cool answers. I actually really liked all the emails we got this week. I'm sad we can only read a selection of those, but yeah. As always, though, this segment is brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves.
And we'll give out the Green Tauros badge to anybody we deem worthy. With that, let's jump into our first email. Our first email this week is going to be from Squid. You've got this one, Lynian.
Hello. Hi, yes. Hi, Puckle peeps. It's a season of giving, so I wanted to share the one thing I'm most thankful for in Pokemon. As a younger Poke-boomer, but still a Poke-boomer, my choice is tied to a piece of Gen 1 hardware. Growing up, my family moved every 2 or 3 years due to my parents' jobs. It was tough to hold on to friendships, but Pokemon became my constant companion and a gateway to making new friends in every new city. The social aspects of trading and battling made it easy to connect with other kids, whether in person or over Wi-Fi. It all started, though, with one simple accessory, the link cable. See, my parents had the foresight to buy me a link cable along with my first Game Boy. Back then, link cables weren't as common, so the few kids who had them became magnets for other young Pokemaniacs in the neighborhood.
This is true, actually.
So it never failed that I was able to find a group to fall into.
This is so true. If you had the link cable, you got invited all the time.
Joint Pokemon-themed birthdays with a neighbor who was only a few days younger, playing in the TCG League with my dad, facilitating a trading club at school, being introduced to Smogon in senior year, traveling for VGC in college, meeting my best friend over Wi-Fi battles. Even now, as I enter the community, I have so many core memories wrapped in Pokemon. So it feels like I should take the cheap answer and say that I'm thankful for that. But looking back, it all started thanks to that little 2-foot cable. Thank you, Nintendo, for creating the link cable, Squid.
That's true. I like that answer. That's a good answer. Good answer.
That was extremely sweet.
All about a cable. Could you imagine having the same feelings about an HDMI cord?
Yeah.
I don't think you could.
No, not even remotely.
I don't think
Thank you, Wi-Fi modem, for...
Yeah, right?
for connecting me to my friends.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. Then our next email is going to come from Trainer Troy. What's going on, my Puckle peeps? Long-time listener, first-time writer here. I got into the Pokemon TCG about 3 months ago, and it has been such an epic journey. I'd always wanted to try it out, but I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And remember thinking, if that's expensive, there's no way I could get into Pokemon as well. Then I heard you guys talking about how Pokemon is the least expensive TCG by a mile, and that was the spark I needed. 2 weeks ago, I went to my first local tournament with a homebrew Dragapult deck, and I went 2-2. People there were so nice, and one of them even lent me a Dracloak I was missing. My roommate came along too, and someone lent him a Prime Catcher for the day. Last week, my roommate went back, I was out of town, and someone gave him a Pheasantipity EX, a Rotom V, 2 Qian Pao. Wow, I cannot talk today. 2 of each card in the Frigibax line, Reversal Energy, Pidgey, and Neo Upper Energy, and a ton of other cards. Yes, they gave those cards to him, even though he went 0-4 in the tournament. Someone there pretty much offered to mentor him in the way of the TCG meta. Qian Pao is not as good as it used to be, so go buy the Charizard deck. Just go buy the Charizard deck. It's like $30. You get everything. It's fine. With the exception of a Pheasantipity or something, and maybe a Dusknoir or something. But for I think $5 plus 10 for the Pheasantipity, so 15, you could make that a tier 1 deck. I've also been watching my way through the entire Pokemon anime for about 3 years now. Sounds a little ridiculous, I know, but I've taken some life lessons from Ash and the gang. I've realized that Pokemon is about adventure, friendship, helping others, connecting with nature, and never giving up on your dreams, no matter what. Even when you've been trying to win the Pokemon League for 25 years while staying 10 years old. You guys have shown me how different everyone's Pokemon experience can be. Before this podcast, I didn't even know about Pokemon Unite, Pokken Tournament, Pokemon Snap. Nobody knows about Pokken Tournament. It's fine. Nobody needs to know about it.
It's okay. We can let that lie in its grave.
That one can die. Shh.
You can, lie down, take a nap.
Yeah, just take a nap, Pokken Tournament. We'll see you. We'll see you again one day.
And never get back up. Yeah.
Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Masters, or much about competitive video game. You've shown me just how many ways there are to engage with this incredible franchise and how unique everyone's journey can be. Sorry for the lengthy email. Love y'all. Keep doing Arceus's work. Trainer Troy.
Love it.
These were both 2 very good emails.
Yeah, that was good. All right, this last one's coming from Mull Coffee.
Yeah.
It's Black Friday and I'm broke, Puckle folk. I love it. I love it already.
That's a good one. That's a good intro.
I love it, yeah. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in cold Denmark, but happy holidays to y'all. But even though I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm still thankful for a few things. One, I'm so thankful for my mom who bought me my first Pokemon game, Pokemon Gold, back when I was staying at my grandparents' house for a sleepover in 2000. God, I'm old. Join the club.
I'm still recovering.
Thankful for this amazing podcast who entertain me on the way to work every day. I really appreciate your hard work and dedication for this podcast. You're welcome, because I have strep throat and I still came in at 7 a.m. And 3, I'm thankful for my family and the new little Pokemon trainer who will arrive around June next year. Ooh, congrats.
Oh, congratulations.
Ooh, it's gonna have some egg moves. And last of all, I'm so thankful my wife didn't find out I broke my gaming chair because of Pokemon Unite. Stupid Goodra player. Don't engage with the Goodra. If you ignore the Goodra, they're useless. That's my advice. Just ignore Goodra. Don't engage with the Goodra. What are your holiday plans, and what is your favorite Pokeball? My fave is the Repeat Ball. I'm always trying to make a living dex, and the Repeat Ball is always there to help me. Also caught a few shinies in that beautiful ball. Anyway, happy holidays, Puckle folk. Best wishes, Mull Coffee, aka Emil, aka Mr. Coffee. Friendship Ball.
The Heavy Ball is my favorite ball.
I like the Heavy Ball and the Lure Ball. I like the Lure Ball as well.
Lure Ball's good.
Lure Ball's fine. I just like the bumps.
That's fair. That's a very fair thing to think.
I like the Friend Ball because it most complements Snivy, literally. Snivy looks really good in a Friend Ball.
One of my favorite memories was when playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. They purposely gave the trainers different Pokeballs.
Yes.
When they would enter into battle. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And the breeders would have Friend Balls and stuff like that. They also brought back Kurt Balls, which was a blessing.
It was. It really was.
Even though they've made them prohibitively difficult to get in every other game.
You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. I actually like that because it's like
Yeah. It gives you something to work for, right?
It gives it... Well, and it's something that they can put out as a cool thing that everyone's really excited for, and it's low impact enough that it's not going to, like...
That's fair.
Warp everything.
That's absolutely fair. I think that's a good take. I mean, I wish I don't want to like go buy them, but I'd rather just like go craft them like we used to be able to. You know what I mean? Because like that was still prohibitively slow. But I could at least reliably make them instead of having to like spin a roulette wheel over and over again to get one.
You know what I miss is in Gen 4, you could have those stickers on your Pokeball for like dramatic appearances.
Oh, the capsules?
I want that. Give us that again.
They did do that in BDSP. They did bring it back in BDSP.
Well, yeah, because that was a Gen 4 remake, but like put it in a real Pokemon game, not that sad excuse.
BDSP is fine. Don't be mad at it. Don't be mad that it was exactly what they said it was going to be.
I mean, it is exactly what they said it was going to be, and that is disappointing.
But yeah. All right. If you want to email us next week and let us know what your top 5, bottom 5 Gen 7 Pokemon are, let us know. But Green Taurus badge. I don't know.
We gotta pick a Green Taurus, but they're all good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Squids though because it has the link cable story, which I think
Squids was very well written. I enjoy Squid.
But Trainer Troy was a first-time emailer and also did really
Trainer Troy's was also very good, right? Like,
and it's his first time, and I appreciate that. That's nice.
I appreciate. You know what? Both of them can get it.
Okay. Well, now I want to give it to everyone because I thought Milk Coffees was good.
So we voted. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it this week. If we read your email,
my God,
you got
I'm
it.
such a people pleaser. Ugh.
All right, with that, guys, though, I have been Trainer Thatch, and oh wait, I gotta do the other spiel. We're on social media. Go to social media. Follow us over at Twitter, Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky now. I haven't posted anything, but we're on Blue Sky.
Love that.
Instagram and Facebook, we're over there as well. You can come over and check us out at Twitch at twitch.tv/thepodcast. I'll be there this Tuesday streaming some probably Pokemon TCG. Or maybe logging into Pokemon Unite to go get a free license. I don't know now.
Just log in every day for 5 days. It's easy. Get your thing.
And then, of course, if you want to help support the show, you can always go over to Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. Additionally, you can also go over to our oh my gosh, what's the other one? Not just that one, but also go to Troll and Toad at trollandtoad.com. You can buy cardboard and use code PucklePod5 at checkout for a 5% discount. You can actually get 5% off of that $30 Charizard EX deck over at Troll and Toad, so it's even cheaper. Just saying, guys. Just saying. With that, I have been Trader Thatch.
I somehow continue to be Sublime.
And I'm Lynian.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.